It wasn't a very clean game number 1, but BLG was still able to pick up the victory at OMG's home arena from Chengdu. OMG, as you mentioned, they can't make playoffs anymore, and they're still trying to rebuild their team. But a lot of mistakes still being made.
Oh yeah, we're calling them the banana for a reason. You know what I mean? Are we talking about BLG or OMG now?
OMG.
Okay, good, because I called them the banana.
You
I
did.
think they're not a blue shell. I will reiterate this factor in a new game. If you're just joining us, OMG are the banana of the LPL. And you might be wondering, Rusty, why are they a banana? Well, the answer is, if you've ever played Mario Kart, they're like the banana. When LGD are like the blue shell, they're going to hunt the first place team, they're going to take them down, they're going to cause the upset. You hit a banana by just driving onto the banana. Like, you made the mistake. So that's why they are.
Have you ever slipped on a banana peel, Rusty?
Yeah, absolutely. I played Mario Kart with all the LPL casters in years.
Not in a game. In real life, like just walking casually, find a banana peel, slip.
You had to. I was going to humble brag all the way through that Mario Kart point, but that's fine. No, I haven't actually slipped on a banana.
I mean, you beat Frosco in that Mario Kart, right?
No, she wasn't there.
Oh,
Oh wait, yes I did. And then she rage quit.
Good.
Because it's not the Mario Kart that she's very good at. She was very good. Anyway, sorry, we just got super derailed. We have it set still.
Yeah. We have an entire set of games
BLG.
OMG going against BLG. We'll get into that match very shortly. We'll get into Champions League as soon as we can. But as we were mentioning, OMG, they are that banana peel. They are that team that if you make those mistakes, they can capitalize and they can punish you, which they did throughout the mid-game against BLG. They were able to try and come back into the match. They were only 1,000 to 3,000 goal behind. But BLG were making these mistakes. And as much as we complimented Moles that he was playing well around Chieftain, he was still making a lot of those mistakes that allowed OMG to come back.
He gave them a lot of opportunities that actually gave OMG space to make plays. The first thing that you'll note is he died once, or there was a team fight where they came out ahead in the skirmish, I should say, overall. That gave him a herald, and then he got caught out of position. It wasn't the first time that he got caught. That means they get the mid lane turret. No one's rotating to help him, so the second turret goes down, and suddenly OMG, from a big deficit, are only 1,000 goal behind. And you're thinking of, like, that's a big mistake from BLG, and it is. But most of it does revolve around the mid laner and why he's getting caught out of position constantly. Something we said at the end of the first game is that he could just change up his champion pool, play something like the Swain even, which is very strong right now, be more of a tank, or just not be the Zoe, who is super fragile, against assassins. So that's where I feel like being on the blue side is difficult, perhaps, for BLG, because they don't get to last pick their mid laner or get priority pick in that role. OMG being on red side can do that. They can play the assassins. Icon is very well known for that, and something that might be an advantage to OMG is being on that side of the map.
But we also mentioned that he could prioritize these picks. He'd go for the Galio early, go for a Sion early if he wants to. These were two champions that were banned during the second ban phase by OMG. Potentially, BLG can swap things up and prioritize their pick for Mole in the mid lane nice and early and see if that helps him out. Because even though we say his champion pick could help him out, they still played well with the Zoe pick. Question is if they can stop making these mistakes as well, or if they change their draft to make it a lot harder for them to make those mistakes. Let's see what they decide to do in Champions League for game number 2. Again, Xayah being the priority for the bottom lane of Jinjiao. That's their first pick. Alistar, Ryze, as well as Leona were taken away.
And he is a good Zoe. That's the thing that you have to take away from it. It was not the way that he played it. It was the fact that he was it that you'd have to explore coming into this second pick ban phase. And already, we've got the Xayah. BLG are doing the exact same thing. They're on blue side again, Fish, so nothing's changed. They've actually chosen this side of the map to stay on for themselves.
OMG sticking with the exact same plan as well. They go for Caitlyn as their first pick. Last time around, they picked up Camille, which we thought was going to be thrown into the top lane as a flex pick, but they used it in the jungle instead. Their bans were Gangplank, Swain, as well as Sejuani.
It'd be interesting if they choose to go towards the Morgana here, opposed to a jungler again. They do, they lock in their bottom lane duo. Of course, acknowledging that a Rakan should still exist is the way that you'd be playing this one out. Now, BLG, if it's not broken, don't fix it, is generally the mantra. They could look towards that Skarner, but with the Morgana already secured, there are other options available if they don't want to commit to a pick-style composition. Something that gives Skarner a hard time is Morgana, and you need some kind of magic damage burst to get rid of that shield first, and I think that's where Rakan's actually quite good. If you're maxing the W, and you have extra damage on that shield, you can take the shield off, and then the Skarner can still lock you down.
Didn't feel like they had too many troubles going up against Morgana in that last match, so they're happy to take the exact same composition. But OG have swapped things around. They're not going for the flex pick of Camille anymore. They lock in Olaf as their jungler of choice for Tieko.
I'm a fan of this. I'm a bigger fan of the Olaf. I don't think the Camille should have been in the jungle at all in that first game, so this is good to see from them. It's good progression from OMG. Moving into the rest of their draft, they've already established a good clearing jungler, something that can match the Skarner, that doesn't get killed at level 6 from the Skarner either. Then they've got the Morgana to defuse the rest of the map. They've played better around the draft so far.
And OMG still targeting mid lane bans here, going into the second phase. This time not the Sion, not going to be the Galio. They go for a Azir instead. Yeah. Interesting. When they're going up against the exact same composition, the only thing they've changed is the jungle pick. They still decide that they need to change their mid lane bans.
Banning out the Azir is a curious one, and that usually would indicate something that Icon wants to pick for himself in the middle lane. So we'll have to continue to keep our eyes peeled on what Icon wants to pick for himself. There's still plenty of options there for him.
Whereas Amazing J, he had his hands on Shen the last match. This time around, BLG decided to deny it, probably taking it away from the Olaf-Shen combo.
Yeah, definitely a strong combo to contend with. Also just keeping the Caitlyn alive when you're trying to assassinate her with any kind of all-in damage. Skarner has a rough experience killing someone when there's a Shen to keep them alive. And similar bans, of course, with the LeBlanc compared to game 1 from BLG, taking away an assassin from the mid lane of Icon.
Force Icon into a different champion. One
Still has the Echo, though.
One that's harder for him to carry on. Did he have a good Echo performance there, though?
His Echo's fine, yeah.
Let's see what he goes towards. OMG could lock in Sion here. It will be a flex between top lane and mid lane. Gives them the opportunity of scouting out what the final 2 picks from BLG are going to be.
And yes, that is a flex pick for sure. But when you're looking at OMG, I highly doubt that Icon's going to be one of the players that goes towards the Sion, though he still can. The flex is still valid as a result of that. He's not really a Sion style of player. Okay. He's a damage dealer. He's a carry for the team. You think of the Azir that they banned, well, that's where I would expect that he goes towards. But now, with a Galio locked, I actually expect a Cassiopeia.
That's very tanky coming out from BLG.
Or that.
They're going to go for Ornn, they're going to go for Galio. So on top side of the map, Galio in the mid lane. Final pick for OMG will be Icon's mid lane champion. Unless they flex the Sion, but as we mentioned, it's probably not going to be the case.
He knows he's against a Galio. He knows what the matchup's going to be. Galio is very hard to kill, so a high damage champion could do it. Consistent damage is usually one of the best ways, but instead of killing him at all, the game plan is completely shifted here from OMG. They're going to go towards protecting their Caitlyn, protect the AD carry composition, but it's also a speed up the Olaf comp and empower the Olaf. Imagine a Ragnarok with a Karma shield and a Morgana Black shield sprinting at you.
Yep. All the chickens in the jelly basket at the moment. Let's see how OMG are able to execute this composition. This is one that we used to see Rogue Warriors run all the time. In fact, they run it so much that commonly the first ban against Rogue Warriors is Karma, targeted at Doinby in the mid lane. Now Icon has his chance to be a facilitator. This is the man that we look towards and say that he is the one that can hard carry a lot of the matches for OMG when they pick up their wins. And Charlie has been able to do it before. Let's see if the extra help is going to be enough for him to do it here.
Now, we'll be curious to explore. Can OMG actually play this style of composition now they no longer have SMLZ and the ranks actually able to hard carry, able to put in that late game performance for them, the aggressive forward playing AD carry. And you could note a lot of similarities between Shelly and SMLZ. That feeling of going forwards, that aggression is there, the team fighting prowess is still there, but he's in a losing team more often than not. So to have a team actually set themselves up around him is big props to the AD carry of OMG.
Stop it!
He's a meme magnet.
BLG fans are amazing.
They're actually very good. I've never seen one individual player have that many different memes about his face.
So many. A lot of BLG fans in the audience here at the Chengdu Arena, which is OMG's home arena. As we mentioned, OMG went to Rift Rivals last year. This split, they've had a poor split so far, only winning 3 of their matches.
From 4th to 7th in their conference, effectively you would say 14th in the league right now with their current performances. Worst team in the LPL Spring Split, but that's not what you would expect from a team with this caliber of talent. Backing them up with the roster that they have. It's all team-based. The coach blames himself. He's come out publicly saying that to see if OMG can actually wrap themselves together. If they can make this composition work, then I'll be pleasantly surprised.
As they have changed their composition to be more protection focused around Charlie. Let's see if it helps them out in game number 2.
It's not just passionate OMG fans in the Chengdu Arena, it's just passionate fans in support of both teams. They just love League of Legends over there.
Look.
A lot.
We're a minute into the match. You can calm down.
It's like a bidding war.
What are they bidding over? What are they trying to buy?
The largest Jayo... No, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Goodness.
But you don't get to win a player. So that's where I was lost, and I didn't know where to go from there, Fish.
Moving on to this match, though, nothing has happened at level 1. Just a couple of wards being placed down. Skarner's going to start on the top side of the map, whereas we will have Olaf starting on the bottom side. He didn't get a leash from his AD carry support. They show up into lane early, whereas Sion did a fake leash, took some damage, moved straight towards top side of the map.
A couple of missing pings go towards the bottom lane of OMG. They don't know where this Olaf has started. The vision control from OMG is also set around the bottom side of the map. The fights that start at level 1 here between these teams is a little bit more even because 5 can start with the binding. In game number 1, there was a level 1 engage, a level 1 fight that forced the black shield to be picked up. Things can equalize a little bit more this time around, and OMG were already winning the 2v2 after their poor level 1 start in that first game.
And now with the advantage in level 1, they should have a much better laning phase. They should already be able to win that. Dark Binding is going to connect, get some damage on the Jun Jiao. We saw Presence on mine being picked up by Chelly, so he has free mana to use whenever he levels up.
Now they're comprehensively controlling this bottom lane right now from the level 2 power spiker, Rakan and Azaya. And I feel like fundamentally BLG aren't playing to win the lane for level 2, they're playing to push and pressure at level 1, and that's backfiring on them twice in a row now. Azaya Rakan is very hard to outpush, even as a Caitlyn and a Morgana, if they just focus on hitting the minions and controlling the wave for level 2. But they never do. They push back, they play reserved. They don't want to get ganked, perhaps, or they just don't want to risk fighting needlessly when their jungler is trying to farm up to level 4 and full clear as best he can.
What does he see?
He's humming.
What is he humming? Sounds familiar.
Not sure. The Reigns of Castamere? Perhaps?
Well, you are right.
Harry Potter's theme song.
Harry Potter's theme song. Well,
Wizard Ornn is now a sick idea.
Oh no. You're alright though, they are trying to wait, farm up, wait for their jungle to see if he can make an impact in that bottom lane. Chieftain has found access into Jericho's jungle. Jericho's still level 3, looking for a gank top side of the map. There's a ward to spot him out, but he might be able to just run straight in there. No boots, so no predator that's going to be available, but Amazing J is trying to jump away from this. Charge gets him out, flashes away, but now he has no more gap closer to escape. But just going to be a summoner spell being burnt.
That's a full minion wave chunking out Jericho's health bar as well. So he doesn't just back away. Yes, they get a flash. They actually get a summoner spell from the mid lane. So it is a decent trade in the end. But they lose a lot of health on their jungler. And if you're a Chieftain, you've just had a free recall on your Skarner. I would imagine the next place that you want to go is to the river and then to the enemy jungle. There might be some raptors coming up pretty soon if you know where the enemy jungle has started. They would actually, you know what, I feel like BLG don't know where he started exactly. They just saw him topside, so they assume it's bottom right now. And that means that if you were going to invade and take jungle camps, you'd actually be walking over to his Gromp and Raptors currently, as they should be up first.
Said he's looking to try and see if he can jump into the mid lane. Flash is available for Mole, but he doesn't commit against Icon. Icon got good damage onto the Galio. Now Skarner's going to try and jump in. Chieftain not going to connect with the E. Charge forward from Mole, does absolutely nothing. Icon turns around, gets good damage into Galio once again. He's just here to clear out the wave, push in further for Mole.
It's all about assisting the recall, give him the free back. There is no teleport for Mole, which is why they're going to do this as well. And Icon is gone for the unsealed spellbook, but he hasn't teleported, so he's still got the cleanse.
Ooh.
Fights bottom.
That's a very good fight coming out from Chelly as well as 5. Great damage onto Jun Jiao, comboing with the Dark Binding and the Caitlyn traps perfectly there.
Yeah, the Dark Binding just enables so much for a Caitlyn in lane with the trap placements. And now they force the recall. They even cancel the recall of Jun Jiao, who is afraid to step up and clear these minion waves because of the presence that's there. Jekko's also down the bottom side of the map. There's no Chieftain to be seen.
No flash, no heal available for Jun Jiao. Rose suspects that someone's jumping down here, walks into the brush trying to get some vision for himself. 5 tanks quite a few turret shots there.
Yes, he does.
Does get Jun Jiao back to safety. However, the damage has already been done. Chelly is quite far ahead when it comes to CS, almost double what Jun Jiao has at the moment.
And I do feel like this is a byproduct of the bottom lane of BLG not playing the push lane, not playing to be a Xayah Rakan and control the minions, instead to look for damage onto their opponents. Mid lane again.
Trying to get a gank going against Icon. This is level 6, forced to flash away from the taunt coming out from Mole.
Doesn't choose to wait for the taunt and use the cleanse afterwards because he doesn't want a Skarner to be in range. And will be the flash gone, the long summoner spell's missing. It does mean, however, that Icon can go back to base and can swap to teleport. That puts him at risk of dying in mid lane if Skarner gets 6 and comes back. So that's what you'd be looking towards. BLG's jungler, hard farm to 6, bring it to mid lane, kill Icon, and that's your way back into this game.
He's almost level 6 as well. Jekko, who's been focused on trying to get ganks going in the top lane and bottom lane, is again at an experience disadvantage against Chieftain.
Constant presence that we're starting to see manned towards the bottom side of the map for OMG is going to start resulting in towers falling pretty soon. Just the presence that they're able to have down there now. With that tower falling, that's a Caitlyn composition coming well online, so that's what you'd expect for OMG is presence and focus around that area.
Let's see if they can continue to play around Skarner instead. Take away from the bottom side of the map. He is a level up over Jekko. Jekko will hit 6 shortly, knows that his Raptor's been taken away. But the bottom lane's kind of what we've seen evolve in the LPL, because LPL is very focused on Xayah as the main AD carry to go to get the lane presence, whereas internationally we've seen more Caitlyn. And now we're seeing OMG use that lane quite nicely to counter out the very strong Xayah-Rakan combo.
To be fair, internationally we're seeing a lot more bans of the Xayah and Rakan combo, or specifically the Xayah being banned to deny the combo in the first place. You can't pick one without the other. That's what we're seeing here. The LPL doesn't actually choose to ban it away more often than not, they choose to play against it.
So you feel neither of these champions can be played individually?
I have seen, as an example, SKT have played it when they try and deny the combo, but it doesn't feel good. You have to play it in an awkward matchup. The reason that they're so strong is that they work so well in tandem.
We're on 8.5 as well.
It even gets nerfed on 8.6.
Yeah, 8.6 is where Rakan does get the combo at level 1 nerf, does get some better ratios for himself to make up for it.
Lots of better ratios.
Lots of better ratios.
I know I suggested it to Pulse, but I really do believe that AP Rakan could be a cheese pick for everywhere up until Platinum in a solo lane.
Please don't.
Why not?
Don't need that.
Mate, I am undefeated in China on AP Lucian.
That's
4-0.
That's different from AP Rakan.
Is it?
Yes.
Do tell.
It's just not the same champions.
They're both incredibly cheesy. And no one knows what they do.
I'm just saying, please don't give Pulse any more cheese picks. We had to deal with that Soraka top lane for a while.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
But OMG are still going to try and focus on this bottom lane. Jekko's been down here once before, looking for a dive. He's down here once again. Hasn't been spotted out by any of the vision placed down by BLG.
We haven't seen a chance for the gank mid lane either. OMG haven't made their plans. BLG haven't been able to execute either. And a lot of the vision control is still there for both respective teams on the bottom side of the river. Nothing really on the top side. I think it's just a lot of safety play at the moment. No one wants to die.
If BLG are able, if OMG is able to get anything going in that bottom lane, there's just such a big advantage for Chelly. BS Sword already picked up in comparison to the Cull as well as Long Sword that Jinzhao has.
BLG have already said that we've lost bottom lane. We're going to get a Cull. We're going to keep losing for another 100 odd CS. It's not a good time and it's not a good situation, nor is it a good place to be. But that is where they are. And so BLG is still actually, the turret has managed to keep itself pretty healthy for the most part, considering how much pressure has been placed down here early. They're not stepping up to hit it. I do feel like with a Morgana Caitlyn snowballing as they are, they could afford to step up and do that. Especially with Jekko hovering around constantly. And speaking of, he's always there.
Run straight at Chieftain, use the Predator there.
I think Chieftain's also hovering towards the bottom side more often as well. His presence is perhaps why they are more tentative to push forwards and commit themselves to the structures.
Despite the massive lead in the bottom lane though, the gold is close to even. 400, 500 gold is what separates the two teams.
3 points in Dark Binding.
Ooh.
There are 2 types of Morganas in the world. There are those who are supports and there are those who are carries.
Five is a carry.
Has got his eye in. He's been hitting the bindings and he said, you know what? We're going to do damage with those bindings.
So what are the Morganas that max W? Oh no, can't talk about that because they're going for a fight. Galio's looking to try and slam down here as well. Mole is able to get in first blood. It's going to be picked up by BLG. They catch OMG wandering down into the bottom lane, get a pick for themselves.
They get a pick onto Icon, all but by himself as well to be able to lock that one down. A Skarner pick is always going to be fantastic. Galio's follow-up doesn't mean he has to rotate, especially not when the fight's just in the jungle. So the first kill of the game, first blood going over to the mid laner of BLG once again.
But
Presence
OMG,
is here, though.
They're looking to try and go for a dive in the bottom lane. Teleport's coming down to the turret to try and protect them. 5 taking a lot of damage. Jinjiao gets good damage as well. Chelly, he's able to get the first kill onto Rogue, but Jinjiao responds, taking out 5.
Unfortunately for BLG, Rogue decided that his best course of action was to dash through a cupcake to get back to his AD carry when he may have just been able to walk up before pressing E a second time. That trade may have been different, but in the end it is still just that 1-for-1. The result being that OMG can still push forwards. The result being that they can get themselves this first turret regardless of the trade that happened. And that's still a very good setup for OMG on their team composition. Even the solo gold over to a very fed Shelly.
Look, cupcakes are delicious, so I think Rogue will still be saying worth, but the rest of BLG, not quite. First turret falls to OMG. 1,000 gold ahead now. And as you mentioned earlier, this is where Caitlyn starts to come online in this team composition.
It's the lane swap that you look towards now as well. Trying to catch Caitlyn sleeping with the recall, but they don't. From this point, OMG, go back to base, get your items. I'm sure there's a lot of items that Caitlyn can purchase, getting a kill and solo turret gold. But at least one completed item, honestly, I feel like.
Well, Jinjiao's going to be so far away. Already spent the 450 gold on the Cole. That's halfway through being complete.
Yeah, that's a full static shift, boots, and a dagger. And a control ward. He's actually just spent 3275 gold.
Give me that. Now heads towards top side of the map. It's going to continue pushing. So a much better game too from OMG. They're controlling the pace of this match. We already said that they've swapped things out. They've got Icon on a supportive mid laner. Chelly's got advantage in the bottom lane. Has a Morgana to back him up.
Yeah.
And they're really trying to play around their AD carry in this match.
That's the thing though, OMG are ahead through that lane that they're trying to focus and trying to play around. They just won the 2v2. The presence from Jekko was almost not necessary. He just needs to be there as an able body to deter BLG's advances forwards. And yes, they'll get themselves a Drake, that's nice to have, but it's going to be traded, and it's going to be traded up for OMG consistently because of how far ahead their 2v2 is in the bottom lane. This is the start of a very good showing from OMG.
Showing the disadvantage at the moment. That's a full static shiv, as you mentioned, in comparison to just the boots upgraded, the Cull and the Longsword that Jinjiao's picked up. Does have the BF sword to match the raw damage that Chelly has.
Yeah, I think we're looking for a level 8 power spike from OMG because I'm fundamentally not too excited about 3 points in Dark Binding. They're engaging.
They're trying to lock down Jekko, uses the Ragnarok. Can he destroy the Rift Herald? He does, but he wants to try and pick up the Herald buff. He gets it. Can he flash into a getaway? Jekko, run away from everybody. Trying to look for the snipe. Can Amazing J find him? No, he can't.
No
what a
idea
play.
Where Jekko went. So OMG, they'll get it and they'll get out all but barely. Icon having a shield at the end, the move speed, the flash over the wall. They make the play. They get the Herald. BLG were there this time. They wanted to contest it. They didn't want to let it go over for free. They're trying to stand resilient. Utilize the Galio in particular, I think, is the other place that they want to find some strengths. But Seyoung's up here in the top lane now. OMG, very obvious style of play that they're implementing here. But what is the counter is always going to be the question. What can BLG actually do to make a play, especially with no Rakan ultimate, with his flash currently on cooldown? It needs to be like a Chieftain flash ulti, but he doesn't even have the flash himself. Nope. And there's a Morgana.
Difficult. OMG executing this composition much better. Seyoung even trying to work with the split push potential, picks up a banner of command for himself. That forced Amazing J to head back down into the bottom lane.
So the easy play here is to group up as 5 to utilize the Caitlyn into Siege, and then use the Herald buff in the mid lane. I'll be a little bit disappointed if they have to use the Herald top to secure the turret, because then they'll never break mid. We'll have to see how they play this one.
They've got good traps placed down, but Chelly's not going to be in range to get the damage onto Chieftain when he steps on them.
You feel like they've done it a wave late, OMG. Ornn's now pushed in bottom lane as well and truly pushed. Even without the teleport, Seyoung now has to go bottom when he was here with the last wave.
Seyoung has his teleport, which Amazing J does not. Even Mole's teleport's currently on cooldown. Jekko's just sitting in the top lane. He's the third support at the moment.
He's hovering. He's making sure that his bottom lane continues to win, even if he's not jungling.
And is that his sole purpose of picking up Olaf? Make sure the bottom lane continues to win, because the Karma and Sion, I understand protecting the Caitlyn, but Olaf's a champion that wants to dive into the back line.
The sole purpose of Olaf, no. It's not to sit there and defend your bottom lane constantly, but the purpose of the team composition, absolutely. They need to have a strong early game, otherwise what is the point of having a Karma shield to keep him alive and Morgana shield to prevent CC from hitting him if he's just tickling, not doing damage? He's there to ensure their comp succeeds.
They're going for a 2-on-2 skirmish here. Chieftain and Mole against Icon as well as Jekko. And it's the most anticlimactic skirmish I've ever seen. They fight, they smack each other, they run away.
Oh, Jesus, that was a loud horn. Yeah, got him.
We did it!
Is knocked up. Is definitely knocked up. They've tried to make a play, I suppose, in the middle lane. Skarner was still nearby, was still around the area. And there is the flash and the ultimate now available for Chief. So there was a chance that the play was available. Of course, Olaf he hasn't gone back to base, but he's been forced away. That missed.
Come on, Jelly.
Had that miss.
Look, if Amazing J can hit his ultimate, you can hit a stun target with your Q. Okay? Teleport's going to be used straight back into the mid lane by Mole as OMG continue to do what they've been doing for this entire match. Sieging with Caitlyn. Despite that, BLG are not far behind. They have no turrets for themselves, but they're only 600 gold behind OMG.
They're doing perfectly fine. I mean, there's a 40 CS difference in the AD carry role, but that has existed for a very long time. So they're stabilizing, they've equalized. Mid lane's got a slight CS lead, it's one wave. And the OMG have finally made the play. The Herald, I believe, was about to time out, so they've actually just grouped up mid lane. They've brought everybody. BLG are here. They are prepared to fight for this from the looks of it. Galio is on, Ornn is here. They could make the plays. They're just pushing them away.
That's a very early shield that came up. Oh my god, what a combo! Everyone from OMG gets locked down. Jelly's forced to flash away. Blastcone's going to pull him back to safety, but they're still chasing him down. Seyoung is trying to find in the back lines, but it's going to be his jungle that gets picked off, locked down by Skarner. Jin Jiao gets that kill. They counter OMG's play in the mid lane.
And exactly what you'd expect. You saw how quickly they rotated. OMG even see them in the bush just below the river as well, and they say, okay, BLG are here, they're ready to contest, we'll let the Herald go. But by the time they start to back away and concede the Herald, it was a little bit too late. The engage was already there from Road, and suddenly a kill, more kills even, go over to BLG. Pressure, presence, it's all there now. They're able to reset the map, re-establish control, and with that teamfight victory, the gold lead even swings in their favor. BLG have just set themselves up again.
They're now the team that's 1,000 gold up. That's a 2,000 gold swing for them.
There was a kill even going over to the Xayah, the one place that was behind.
Crucial kill.
The BLG roster.
His call is also complete as well, so he gets that extra gold. That will help him out quite nicely.
It's a nice influx. He's not fully optimized in his damage output, but he's built some extra crit, working towards the Zeal on his Essence Reaver build. Once that's completed, then he's pretty much online. Gets
that 30% cooldown reduction, which Xayah desperately needs. She has incredibly long cooldowns on all of her abilities.
And a lot of mana cost with constant spell weaving in and everywhere. There's a Drake up in 2 seconds as well, Fish. It's a Mountain Drake. That's the place that I'd be looking towards for OMG. You want to retain some control, and actually both teams have set their side waves up, and tanks are on the top side as we get to watch the corner of an engage. That was a nasty combo, to say the least. It was funny as well. You expect the Galio ultimate to be seen after that Rakan engage, but he was already channeling the taunt, so he had to flash to make the combo work more effectively. Looks like we're just watching Road.
Get him. Get that blue buff, Road. Smack it.
Yeah. Ah. Back to base now. Oh, we're back.
Oh, Chief is in trouble. Ragnarok's going to try and chase him down. Smite's not going to slow him down, but BLG is still able to deter OMG from pushing forward.
What was used? All right. Not a lot. A heal was used by Jin Jiao, of course, the end result. But he's still pushing. The wave's still going to be cleared in mid lane. They're going to get the turret, however. Darkbinder's going to connect
onto Xayah as well. Forced to use the ultimate, but he's stuck on top of a trap. Galley ultimate comes. Jin Jiao! How is he still alive? Looking to try and take down Jekko. Good heal as well as shield coming out from Icon. Almost denied that kill from BLG.
A very good shield from Icon to secure themselves the trade, the kill, the turret, even without the trade, I should say. They get themselves the AD carry of BLG. Unfortunately, the Xayah ultimate, whilst it gets you out of any kind of crowd control or damage that's going to be incoming, he wasn't able to move. And so he comes back down on top of a trap again, and there was no such thing as safety for him in that instance. And OMG, they've been able to get themselves 2 objectives for free effectively in that fight. They even get the Galio ultimate.
Sorry, I was watching Olaf flip a table. They got that Galio ultimate, as you mentioned. And importantly for OMG, not only do they get the crucial cooldowns from BLG, they get a dragon for themselves, and now the game is dead even once again. But is that enough? Because this is a Caitlyn team composition. Normally, when teams like Team WE used to use this, back in 2017 even, it'd have to be really far ahead to work. But is even game state enough for OMG?
it's still going to be plenty, I think, because of how strong the Caitlyn will be with the composition they've got around her, right? So an even Caitlyn with a Karma Morgana is still going to be stronger than Azaya, even if both AD carries are equalized in items and strength. And that's what is going to separate these two teams right now. Dead even in gold, yes. I think the difference is realistically made on BLG's side by the Galio as the strength of their roster currently. 40-odd CS ahead, 2 completed items now. He's set to go, and he's going to be doing a lot of damage with the build that he's chosen to go towards as well.
And Luden's Echo as well as Rod of Ages picked up Sork boots as well for Mole.
Yeah, often you'd see something like the Proto Belt for a Galio that wants to commit to AP. Leandri's Torment if you want to deal excess damage and get that extra health in your kit from the items as well. Complements with the W being resistances, but in this instance, he goes towards the Luden's Echo, and that is unconventional.
I mean, you have to think if he did go towards a tanky build here, BLG would really be only relying on Zaya's damage in team fights.
And yeah, no, I do believe he should go for the AP build. I just think that the AP
unconventional
item question, yeah.
Nice, Jay looking for initiation.
So,
gets 2 knockups, so Rogue goes for initiation. 5 used the shield on himself, not the AD carry, and BLG just chased forward. Chieftain's got the ultimate, slows down 5, pulls him back in. Sion's going to get a big flank in the back lines, dodged out by Jin Jiao. Has a lot of feathers on the ground at the moment. OMG trying to work through this one. Good snare from him. Is it going to be enough? Forces him to flash away. Mole tries to reinitiate. Doesn't get the crucial target. Jekko's able to escape with a flash of his own. Icon's still trying to chase this one down. Gets good damage with his Q. And Macy J reinitiating. Going to get locked down, but flashes away from the devastating strike coming out from Sion. Icon still wants to chase through for this one. Mole trying to deter him. They get the 2 picks. They trade 1 kill back. But still, OMG not able to protect their AD carry.
BLG just dive. I think that was super creative from them. I actually really liked the way they executed on that fight. BLG's mid laner is currently caught.
Smacked halfway through his uppercut. Takes too much damage and Sion gets the kill.
Needlessly steps up too far and tries to get himself just a wave, 1 more wave before going back to base. And now he dies. And guess what? Dead mid laner, dead Galio, has got the teleport in 30 seconds. But OMG have got the inside track to the Baron. They've got the vision controlled. They are set up in this area. There's even teleports coming out early from Amazing J, who I feel like will use the Horn to get vision or see where they are.
And if OMG are not going to commit to the Baron, BLG can just sit back and wait. Risky play coming out from Rogue. Tries to go for the initiation, but 5 is already able to disengage. So did the rest of OMG.
That was very dangerous, actually. Getting bound by the Morgana doesn't mean you can get to safety, and he would die being the support here. As there's the Horn.
The lockdown 5 as the Dark Shield is able to escape. There's a flanking teleport coming out from BLG.
They want the Caitlyn. Oh, he's changed his mind.
Ragnarok, so no crowd control going through, but Mole just so much damage. Already below half health. Chelly's trying to kite this one back out, stepping on traps, dealing as much damage as he can. They've locked down Road. Road taking a lot of damage. So what? He was standing still forever there. They chained the crowd control perfectly, but BLG still find the pick onto the jungler. Change targets onto 5. They get a pick there as well, and nobody can support Chelly to deal the damage that he needs to.
And I don't think this means BLG will get themselves the Baron or anything, though. They have to go back. They have to deal with the top wave that is amassed against them. They will have a lot of presence down in the bottom lane from their minions, however, and that's a cannon wave, so it may actually just get a turret. And that does mean that the end trade, getting extra picks and getting a turret does give them a large advantage. So get it done, minions. Come on, those
minions.
4 in the bottom corner are the real MVPs.
Oh no, there's only 2 attacking.
Oh no,
oh no, they changed targets. They've got another wave coming and Sion's here.
Minions are just something else.
They are the real peanuts of League of Legends.
Makes you, like, you hit the turret, giant thing that is killing you. You're like, you know what? That little cast, that little wizard next to me is a bigger priority to me. I think I should hit him instead.
This turret hurts. Let's kill the little guy.
Like, there's a giant raid boss in front. Nah. Wizard. Never understood minions.
Great
That's why
movie.
they're minions, though.
Great movie, though.
It is not. Minions are a plague.
Why? What?
The movie.
Oh, okay. Why is it a plague?
I'm not justifying.
So you're just going to make a statement and not back it up?
Yes, we're not having a conversation about minions.
Fantastic. Fantastic analysis coming out from Rusty here. Moving back into the game, though. Major J wants to fight once again. Gets a double knockup. Rogue goes for the initiation. They lock down 5, the support, and they kill him straight away. BLG only take a little bit of damage on their support for that initiation.
And this time they're significantly more healthy if they want to look towards. Oh, they're going in.
Oh, Chieftain just flashes over the wall, collapses onto Icon. AP carry in the mid lane is dead. OMG just lose 2 members, and it looked almost casual from BLG.
Yeah, no cleanse, no QSS, no flash for Icon. He is just going to die this time, Chieftain, with the nice little pick. And now the Baron, Jekyll's there, but he has no flash. And to get into this pit, it's just going to be throwing an axe, you would imagine. He's going to try, but if Galio can one-hit him, I think that's what we're going to see.
Run in like the Viking you are. A lot of damage onto Road, actually. Not going to be enough to kill him. Chieftain still tanking Baron. Jin Jiao gets that first kill with the Sion, goes into zombie form. Amazing J is trying to keep the backline occupied. Everyone's dashing back in. Amazing J does fall. Only Chelly left alive. However, OMG successfully stopped BLG from taking Baron.
Road lives with about 10 health to his name. Even the scrying orb used by Chelly wants to snipe him out with the ultimate. They have to back away. BLG have to reset. And OMG, they are able to stop the Baron after they got caught out of position. Not just once, but twice.
Not a bad trade for OMG. They sacrifice 2 members, get a single pick for themselves, but crucially allows them to stay in this match.
The real MVP of this game so far has been Amazing J. However, the Ornn ultimates are forcing the Black Shield. And every single time he uses the Black Shield, there's 2 ways that Amazing J could play this one out. You use the Horn on the same target, you get rid of the shield through the amount of magic damage that it has as base damage, or you hit someone else and you knock them up. So it really is a guessing game for OMG's support in 5 as to who he should be putting the shield on. And if you default to Chelly, the way that we've seen BLG play around this, and the reason I think it's super cool and actually very, very clever from them, is that they're using the Skarner, following it up, and following up with the ultimate, because the magic shield has been removed by the damage that the Ornn ultimate is able to put down. At the same time, Rakan has done the same thing. So I actually really like this combo from BLG in the way that they're creatively executing on it in the face of a Morgana.
Chieftain's also not afraid to hit the go button. Dark Shield, supportive mages, tanks, no matter what. If they're out of position, he's ready to flash forward and try and get the pick for his team. OMG have been playing much better this match, and despite the scoreline being 12-6, they're only 2,000 gold behind. However, Chelly has been forced to go towards lower Dominic's regards. Another ultimate's going to come out from Amazing J. This time doesn't connect. 5 is going to be the target. Rogue goes to the initiation once again. Ragnarok is going to be used. Sion charges to the fight. Choke point fight for OMG. Is this the fight where they can try and take it to BLG? Sion gets dragged back, takes a lot of damage, flashes back out, tries to stay alive. Cannot. Big knocker coming out from Ornn. Is going to keep the backlines occupied.
Still going.
Chelly's still trying to deal as much damage as he does. He has the armor penetration to cut through these tanky frontline members, but everyone from BLG is still alive. Another shield. Still trying to charge forward. There's an Athenes for Icon. He also has a lot of ways to protect Chelly, and although he has a perfect fight around the choke point with plenty of traps, they can't kill anybody from BLG.
Chelly's just so healthy. Unfortunately, of course, his itemization is there to kill tanks. It's not to kill carries. And so they're not going to be able to just outright win a team fight. A trap was stepped on by Jin Jiao, chunked out half of his health, yes, but the last Whisper's not going to be the same amount of damage as a rapid fire cannon, getting that double Zeal extra damage on the crit, but still, they win the team fight. They control the flow of the team fight through their Caitlyn. And it does feel like we're getting a battle of the AD carries. OMG's AD carries got higher range and higher damage, compliments of the Karma and the Morgana.
However, it's still BLG that get the single pick in that fight. Again, Chieftain was not afraid to pull Sion back into the team. Pull the Sion, the main tank. Allow the rest of BLG to cut him down. You'd expect BLG to have slightly more damage with the AP build that's coming out from Galio.
That's a Sion ultimate in mid lane. They're charging.
Looking to try and cut out Rogue. Will dash over the wall, gets back to safety.
Oh,
but
they're still charging.
He is so fast. That Amazing J wants to pick a fight for his team. They're going to turn this one around. Is it going to be OMG or is it going to be BLG to actually start this fight? Everyone from OMG is suddenly dying. They picked the wrong fight here, Rusty. Now Sion's dragged back in again. 3 members dead. This could be Baron for BLG.
They thought they had the pick, but it was not the pick that they were actually after. And boy, did they chase it too far. Amazing J needs to be careful, but the rest of his team will run over to the Baron. I would expect there's a Warmogs on Amazing J with the way that he's posturing currently. They want to set up. It's still a pick. They want to kill Chelly first. Here's the primary objective.
They're still trying to chase forward. Rogue goes for the initiation. Chelly sidesteps everything. Still alive for now. Redemption trying to keep himself alive. Shields from Icon. This might have once again stopped them from taking Baron.
He's just too fast. He's too slippery and he is way too hard to kill. This time they will go back to the Baron. They'll rinse and repeat. We're getting close to flashes available, particularly from Chieftain. They wanted to re-engage on a Chelly.
Jelly's in the backlines, has some traps placed down, but not many. Rhodes looking to see if he can go for an initiation. He's away from Baron. Everyone from BLG
Chelly
is going fairly low. Baron is low. They jump back in. It will be taken by BLG, but Amazing J is low. Onhod's going to get used, but can't get thrown back into the team. The rest of OG's here. Jericho is going to try and look to stop Jinjiao's recall. He gets inside the Baron pit. 2 kills picked up by OMG. BLG's Chieftain falls as well to the ace in the hole. Mole's trying to run away, but Icon's chasing him down. That's going to be 4 kills that are picked up here by OMG.
They're going to pick up that last remaining kill. Road. Oh, he does get out. They keep a Baron buff. 1 Baron buff is left for BLG. That was a disaster almost in the making. OMG almost with the clean ace. Still 2,000 behind and with a single Baron buff there. It means that there's no split pushing for BLG. They have to group up as 5, but hey, you wouldn't have it any other way if you were that team. They'll be very happy that there is still 1 remaining. And currently, there is an opportunity to push mid lane. Chelly may be able to get the turret for OMG here, or the attack speed that he's getting from the Ardent Senses.
He will get this turret, just like that Gold's dead even. We have an even match between BLG and OMG in game number 2. And we go back to what the coach of OMG has been saying. He believes the fault the team has been on him. He's drafted differently. OMG are playing a different playstyle, and it's working for them against BLG. Whereas for BLG, we said this is the playoffs. Oh no, the Amazing J teleport. Looking for the flank, but is it too little too late?
I feel like that flank is way too deep.
They're going for it. Scrying Orb has been used. Amazing J's looking for that flank. Chieftain's in the back lines as well. Galio has his ultimate. There we go. Chieftain jumps in. On gets used. Everyone's piling in. Chelly's been protected by the Dark Shield. Still on the front line, so he needs to get back to safety. Not going to get there in time, and 5 falls first. 2 kills picked up by BLG. Seong uses a stopwatch to stay alive for now. Trying to run away. Chieftain is low. Doesn't matter because that's a double kill for Zaya. Mole does so much damage, charging into the back line. And just when things look good for OMG, BLG strike back.
They certainly do. Icon is the man you have to look towards right now. He's still trying to kite around, still trying to put down damage. He's getting kills as close he can to as well.
They're still going.
They're stuck between turrets.
OMG keep trying to fight with 2 members alive, and finally, BLG are able to punish them for it.
That was a legitimate 1v5 attempt from Icon though. He was trying to put in overtime to get the team victory for OMG there. They don't get it. They actually do lose their mid laner. He maybe should have backed away. Unfortunately, gets caught. So there's a 35-second window. Remember that Baron buff is still alive as long as Road is. As low as he went, he's still here.
Still pushing for more. They finally get the first sizable gold lead for themselves, but they haven't gone back a shot just yet. So it's an even fight here if OMG can pick one. Chelly is going to be able to get the first kill with the assist of 5. Second one being picked up. Sion's rejoining the fight as well. Jekko's going to slow everyone down. No Baron buff available because Road has been taken down. Chelly's going to have access to Amazing J. Chased down by 5. And once again, it's a seesaw right here because it's back and forth between OMG and BLG.
You know what? They chose to dive. They chose to have a crack. Perhaps the trigger finger wasn't ready from 5. Perhaps the spell shield wasn't there, but it was.
What? Now it's Icon that's going for the deflect. He's missed Amazing J, but he's found Mole in his head. Sidesteps the uppercut. Ultimate being used to jump over a wall. Collapsing onto 5. Uses the blast cone, knocks them back into his team. Chelly's going straight for Mole. He flashes over the wall. Now it's Amazing J. 1-on-2 against Jekko and Icon. Trying to run away. Karma just does so much damage. Has a massive shield for himself as well. And slowly but surely they will be able to cut him down.
Well, this is pretty sad to watch.
Icon.
Oh, he got him! That trade should not have happened. But Amazing J just comes up clutch. He gets himself the kill. At what point? You know what? I'm just going to... This is a complete and utter fiesta.
What is going on?
BLG are diving top lane. There's a control ward sitting under that turret for no real reason. If you want to teleport, I'm sure they'll maybe use that one in a couple of minutes. So keep your eyes peeled. There's no Baron. There's only an Ocean Drake to look towards. So maybe people calm down for a sec. Maybe. Just maybe we get a chance to...
To break down this match?
No. To make a smart decision. Because they're definitely close to... I feel like BLG just embracing the chaos. You know what I mean? Like, they're content with this. They're just trying to kill Chelly. And every single chance they get, if he's a screen away, they're going. They're flanking.
I believe the Chinese casters are as confused as us. I've seen Changmao sit down and stand up quite a few times now in between these fights.
This is an emotionally conflicting experience.
And this is a game that really matters for BLG. OMG, yes, they're out of playoff contention. A win here doesn't do much for them in this season, besides bragging rights and showing that they are forming into a better team moving into the summer split. But for BLG, a win here will secure themselves a playoff spot.
They are one map up, so I can understand, getting carried away with the state of the game. OMG always seem to enforce a state of chaos, so BLG do not embrace the order, instead they embrace the chaos.
Is this what we want from BLG though, for
Absolutely
a playoff
not.
team? You'd have to expect to have a much cleaner performance in both games so far.
I'll cut them some slack. I'll let them off. They are one up.
They are going for another fight in the mid lane. Chelly's being protected. Massive shields coming out from Icon. Amazing J with the reinitiation. Seong has been able to kill Road in the back lines, however. Teamfight's looking good for OMG. BLG 4 members strong. Still not afraid to go for the fight. Flash forward for 5. Connects with the Dark Binding. Seong jumps in with a devastating strike. 2 more kills going to be picked up here by OMG.
Well done to hit the binding. 5 is super clutch for them right now. And suddenly, this equal footing game as the chaos ensues gives the team fight to OMG. 2 Mountain Drakes on the roster. You can hear the crowd as well. They're feeling it.
Chance for BLG though, Rusty. Even though it's in OMG's home arena at Chengdu, the crowd still wants BLG to fight back. 5 has gone from feeder to hero in this match already. And a devastating start to the game, doing well now. And it's going to be the first inhibitor broken by OMG. Are they going to try push for the win here?
There's 25 seconds on Amazing J. There's no Baron for them, so the Galio has wave clear.
AP Galio as well.
They can't end right now, but they're going to try.
They're trying to. Last cannon minion is going to die. Chelly gets good damage onto his turns. Road jumps in for the initiation. BLG are looking for the fight. First kill onto Dieko, as well as Sion being dragged back to the Nexus. Meanwhile, Mole is keeping the other 3 members occupied. Doesn't get hit by the Dark Binding. Doesn't get back to base. Sniped by Chelly, but Jinjiao goes forward. 1 on 3, looking for that fight. Can't connect with any of his feathers. Chelly has been slowed down, but did have enough damage to take him down. Now it's his turn to go for that 1 on 3. Amazing J with another flank into the backlines. Can't connect. They're still protecting Chelly well.
They have to run.
90 caliber nets into the wall. Doesn't matter too much. OMG are still trying to push for a win here.
They're going to go towards bottom now, maybe look for the inhib. This is a banner of command minion that Chiang set up about 2 minutes ago. It's still pushing. They might not be able to take it, however.
Inhibitor is not going to fall. Again, Chelly has the Dark Shield, has all the shielding coming out from Icon, so he can step forward and deal that damage. But again, they reset. This time, OMG get the massive advantage. They have the gold lead, and they've broken the base of BLG.
There's 10 seconds on Xiang and the teleport is available, but they also have to deal with a minion in the top wave. So BLG are taking this chance. They've cleared mid. They're running straight over to the Baron, and it feels like if they don't get this Baron, BLG might actually lose the game.
Teleports are coming in.
You can feel it.
Road jumped over the wall, is able to take down the blast cone. Teleport from Mole as well, trying to get to this Baron fight. This could be the coin flip fight, and Road decides he's going to initiate it. Seong as well as Jekko are the first 2 targets, dragging Sion back into the team again. Jekko is low. Chelly has not had access to the backlines just yet. It's looking good for BLG. First kill picked up by their carry. Seong's already taken down.
Still free hitting.
And they're still trying to go for these fights. Jinjiao now at half health. Chelly's still cutting this one perfectly. Good protection coming out from both 5 as well as Icon. But they settle for that single pick onto the tank. They have to deal with the minions that are collapsing into BLG's base.
And OMG actually do have the control of the Baron area if these minions start to crash. Minions in the top wave.
Get them, minions.
Nobody went to deal with it.
Minions in the bottom lane, we don't like you. You can't take turrets, but top lane minions, you're all right. You can do the job.
But Mole's had to go back, and he doesn't have teleport. He doesn't have the Galio ultimate. And there is no contending with Chelly in a 4v4 like this. Not with a Morgana just babysitting. OMG move up. They move towards the Baron. Now's the chance if they wanted to take it, but they don't have their top lane up.
They're going for the fight. You can see that the top lane, the minions are pushing towards the Nexus, but BLG support Road initiates, gets cut down instantly. Chelly's gone forward, gets taken down. Crucial kill being picked up by Jinjiao. Now the rest of BLG, they're confident stepping forward, looking to lock down the remaining members of OMG without their carry.
And Jinjiao just says, if no one else is going to do it, I will. And he steps up and takes out the enemy AD carry all but by himself. A very aggressive engage once again from Road. He continues to overstep, get completely chunked out and die, but the rest of the team's there to back him up this time. In particular, the 12-3 scoreline AD carry of BLG and Jinjiao. Someone who hasn't had the best split so far, but has really stepped up in recent weeks with the changes in the roster. And as much as we want to compliment Chieftain and Mole, and I do think they've been improvements to the roster, Jinjiao's also been playing much better.
I mean, look at his items picked up for this match as well. Fully complete, but we'll talk about that later, because this was the fight where OMG tried to force Baron.
And Road tries to go forwards here. I think he sees an opportunity to go on Chelly, but he misses the ult part of the knockup, so the spell shield was going to be there in time. A constant kiting here. Road's dead, Amazing J's dead, and then Jin Jiao. He just sits there and demolishes the health bar of the enemy AD carry all but by himself again.
Not the best positioning coming out from Chelly. Didn't have access to the supports that could protect him in that fight. But we already mentioning the items that are coming out from Jin Jiao. He's full build now. Infinity Edge even being upgraded by On top of that. He has the Zeke's Harbinger as well as the Athene's being picked up by Rakan as well.
He certainly is, and now the Baron is still a place of focus. However, the focus is split. There is an Elder Dragon on board. Now there is 2 Mountain Dragons for OMG. If they want to secure the Elder, they'll be very strong at taking down structures. The BLG, they've actually started it when there's a lot of vision around. There's 2 Scryer's Orbs inside the pit. I think they're just trying to bait OMG to come over.
Both teams have an inhibitor broken as well, so minions will slowly collapse into the base. No teleport for the side of OMG. Icon can swap out his cleanse for a teleport and go back to base to defend if he must. That's a crucial summoner being taken away. For the side of BLG, no unsealed spellbooks, but they do have the teleports from top lane and mid lane coming back up shortly. BLG decide they're going to try and start Baron.
Karma's visible, no teleport, has to run to the Baron, and how quickly this goes down. Jekko's going to have to sprint in.
He's trying to jump. He goes to Ragnarok. Does he get a steal? No, he does not. Secured by Xayah. And BLG cut him down. Looking for the reinitiation. Chelly's been separated from the team. Fire's in trouble. Dragged back into the lineup. And Jinjiao says, you know what? I'm going to do it again. I will take you down twice, Chelly. And that should be the game for BLG.
It certainly should be, but the fight's going to continue. They could just go top lane, actually. Use the Baron buff fish. It does look like they have decided to smarten up and they want to end this game right now.
Jinjiao's had enough. So is Amazing J. He's just flashing into the base. He knows that the carry from OMG is dead. It was back and forth all the way. And they're still trying to end the match. Icon's doing what he can to be a distraction. The rest of BLG already onto the Nexus. Jinjiao wants more kills. He can feel it right now. Road's going to join this fight. Hit the damn Nexus, guys, because that's your playoff spot right there once you pick it up. Road gets locked down, looking for the kills. Jinjiao gets another one. Sion does escape, but that's it. BLG secure their playoff spot.
Xiang's only left to back away as his base is in tatters. BLG will pick it up, but it was anything but clean. It was a total chaotic game. I don't know how much I want to say Fiesta. I feel like BLG embraced it too much. They were ready for it. They were prepared. They did take apart OMG in the end, but I'll tell you what, there was some signs of life in OMG in the second game in particular. We saw some good plays from them overall in the first game, you know, getting themselves the 2 turrets in mid lane, using the Herald, generating picks, getting kills here and there. The second game was chaotic, but it was Chelly that had to step up. At the end of the day, he couldn't step up. He couldn't compare to Jin Jiao. The enemy AD carry proved far too strong.
And this kind of shows why you should watch the LPL. I mean, we're faster than the LCK. We've got so much action. It's so bloody. And if you get homesick from NA, we've enabled Poggers. And you can also watch the Clown Fiestas from time to time. Back and forth match, though, from BLG as well as OMG. They were not afraid to keep fighting and fighting and fighting.
Even one point of view cameras. We followed Rakan during a replay for no particular reason in that one as well. We've got it all here at the LPL.
Oh, he was fighting blue buff. It was an intense
Absolutely.
battle.
He smacked it with his feathers, let me tell you. Amazing J had a pretty good showing in this game. The second game, if we're going to compliment anyone for smart play, I think we do have to look at the way that BLG played around the Morgana ultimate to constantly try and find fights and picks. I'm going to say Road was too aggressive, a little bit consistently there. But the rest of the map had him. They were backing him up. It's a combo with the Galio and the Rakan. It's a good combo. And they are able to use that combo to great success. However, Road has to sacrifice himself for the most part to get Mole in there.
Jinjiao really stepped up towards the latter half of that match. He was shut down so early by Chelly 5 and the dives that came out from Jekko.
Yeah.
He's able to sit back, farm, got his completed items, had the help of the items that were coming out from Road as well, and crucially took down Chelly the last 2 team fights of the game.
And that's the thing, you know, you're looking at a Caitlyn with a Karma and a Morgana to protect them. A longer ranged AD carry that's already hit the 5 item points, super strong. And against a Xayah, who is a lower ranged AD carry that has to get through a Sion just as much as, you know, Icon and Chelly rather has to get through the Ornn and the tanks of BLG's roster, but he did it better. He actually found the carry. He found the 1v1 between the carries when Chelly was trying to play front to back, and that was the difference in the end. The AD carry of BLG is definitely the MVP to me.
And again, Chieftain was never afraid to lock down Sion, pull the Sion into the team, and remove that main tank of OMG time and time again, making sure that they still had that strategy. And he couldn't get those crucial picks because of the Dark Shield, but was able to make sure that Jinzhou had access to the other carries.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think that OMG's tanks played exceptionally well for themselves either, around the fact that they should be protecting their AD carry opposed to going forward. So there's moments here and there I feel like OMG could actually VOD review that game and say these are the ways that we could have perhaps played it better, especially in the front-to-back team fights. I think their decisions were they just forced fights constantly and they had to react. Every single time they had to react, BLG just sprinted at them.
And it was a back-and-forth match between OMG and BLG, but with a 2-0 victory, BLG secured themselves a playoff spot. To break down the series a little bit more, let's send it back to the analyst desk.
Thank you, guys. And you just heard from Fish. BLG, they finally did it. They finally locked in their playoff spot. Last day, week 9, day number 6, they're finally able to lock it down. Oh, I think that should give some insight into why they were fighting so hard to finish off that game. Because if that series went to 2-1, they didn't have it locked down. There's still a chance that FPX could pass them. But finally, with that victory, they've done it. They've sealed it away. They've locked it down.
Congratulations to BLG. However, they are still fighting for their seeding slots right here. They don't want to face RNG. They probably want to face Suning Gaming or Jingdong Gaming.
Yeah.
So they will still be fighting very hard in Week 10 to keep their seeding at the 3rd slot over WE.
And of course, that being said, their next opponents are the likes of Vici and Edward Gaming, one of which they might have to worry about. The other one, not so much. Of course, I'm referring to Vici Gaming if they're set against
I can tell,
OMG,
it's April Fools.
Yeah, because, I mean, when you're against a team like OMG and then you go 42 minutes and 30 seconds in fight after fight after fight. I mean, you saw the gold graph at the end of the game. It was like we were in Southern California and there were just earthquakes all up and down.
Yeah, that was kind of like a desert type of weather. It's like when there's the sun out, it's 40 degrees Celsius, and when it goes down, it's like
we were
minus
sweating
20.
the entire time.
Yeah. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of chaos, but, you know, we always start from the top. Let's go to the band picks
Let's take a look at the draft. BLG, they locked themselves up one heck of a wombo combo, and it looked great when they could execute it.
Yeah, I really have to give a shout out to Rusty. Good call on that Galio pick. Mold did go for something that was a little less fragile with the Galio. It really did shut down OMG's strategy of going for the mid lane as well. And if you look at OMG, I feel like this was a test for Shelly. This was a soul-searching test that they wanted to find direction for themselves. So they put Icon on something that could support him very well. And if you look at Jayco as well, he finally stepped away from the Camille. Yeah. Thank God. And they had a much more... I like this composition. It's really rare from OMG to see something that this comprehensive. They really did want to focus on the late game damage coming out from Shelly. And I felt like they did a very good job in the early laning phase. Road was not allowed to run away. And that really kind of set up the early phase for OMG to have a strong footing in the game.
That being said, though, it wasn't exactly smooth sailing. Once again, we saw BLG hunting for picks. And while the start of the game was certainly slower than the previous game, it sort of followed a similar early game pattern with BLG hunting and looking for anything they could possibly find.
And this is the great thing about Mole and Chieftain. I feel like even though they're rookies, their team fight doesn't look like it. They're still very coordinated. They've traded Athena and SKS away, but they didn't trade much away from it. They still had those perfect fights. The start wasn't perfect right there, but I can tell you what happened. So what happened there was the support from Road actually got a 3-man knock-up onto the back line, and everybody piled in. Chieftain, at first he looked like he was caught, but it was kind of like a diversion tactic, and they still got the entirety of OMG's backline, and they were able to clean up that fight. That's the first time that we really saw BLG take a lead in the game, and then it was a lot of back and forth.
And that's the dog pile composition for BLG coming to fruition, though OMG, their counter to that seemed to be the Morgana Black Shield. Keep the shield on Shelly, keep him in the back, prevent him from getting caught, and like we said, this was OMG giving Shelly a chance. I think he stepped up in this game. He absolutely was putting out massive damage, 62,000 by the end of the game to the 70,000 of Jinzhao's Xayah.
Yeah, that definitely was one of his higher damage games. It was overall 48 kills in that game. 52 was the highest we had in the LPL so far. So that was one of our highest kills games ever. And you could tell Charlie was feeling at the end. He was weaving in auto attacks. He was moving back and forth. However, I still don't think he would necessarily he was trying to do an SMLZ impression, but it wasn't that close to be honest. I feel like a couple side steps, a couple auto attacks, you could tell that he wasn't putting as much as he could. As much as he possibly could. I still feel like the hyper carry route might not be as clear a route for OMG going forward, but it was still a decent showing,
it
one
did
of the better
provide
showings for
direction.
Chelly.
Yeah, it actually creates an interesting conversation because SMLZ, like you said, plays a similar style, the
Yeah.
sniper, but you can tell that that killer instinct just isn't quite there for Chelly, but still a strong performance. I
Yeah.
feel that this could be something they look towards in the future if they're able to practice and hone it a little bit more, if not to such an extreme degree. And it's actually funny because previously on OMG was SMLZ, the
Yeah.
actual killer instinct sniper 80 carry, and he didn't fit with the team.
Yeah.
So suddenly you've got another 80 carry who's slightly more tempered, and he seems to fit better.
Yeah, we do have to say that he did fit with the team because of out-of-game problems.
Yes.
We do have to
Yeah,
mention that he did have a couple of very public bouts with his coaching staff and such like that. But in terms of the fighting style, SMLZ was the that's go all-in type of fight style. They went in with the Kled. They didn't need protection, especially for their 80 carry. They were more willing to run a lot of distractions from Icon. With Chelly, however, this composition is more fine-tuned toward Chelly because of the Karma. They really are looking to keep him more protected. Chelly is a guy that likes to have his distance. He's closer to a Loken than to an SMLZ, I would say. But, you know, they're still trying to get him to go into the hyper carry position, see what they can do. And overall, I feel like they had a strong footing. They actually had a couple chances to win this game outright. But OMG, man, they weren't really patient to set things up. And that's the big point I'm going to criticize them about. They lost an inhibitor to a team that wasn't running Banner of Command.
Yeah.
They purely lost that inhibitor because they were fighting all of the time. There was a couple of fights, especially in the high ground, where they tried to end the game early that were unnecessary. They did not need to end there. They should have reset and cleaned up all the waves and put themselves in a much stronger position. They should have set up in front of the Baron pit. They trapped all of the ramps, and they have the Dark Binding. They have a really good setup. They didn't go for that.
This is a problem that we saw happen multiple times over the game, however. Both of the teams seemingly disrespecting each other, overstaying their welcome. Mole still gets caught in the mid lane. We've actually got that last team fight for you to demonstrate what happens when Chelly isn't able to respect the distance of the enemy team. Once he actually steps up and gets caught, the whole team fight changes.
Yeah, this was really a macro loss from OMG. They had to cede the map back to BLG because they had to clear the minion waves. So they came into the fight late, and you could tell that the front line wasn't in front of Chelly at that point. Fight falls apart, and the man of the match does go to Jin Zhao in the bot lane. Now, recently, BLG has been going much more towards the Xayah and Rakan. It's a really strong blue side strategy. I do have to correct myself. Game 1, BLG chose to play on the blue side, so they are targeting the Xayah and Rakan in the draft phase as well. This is what they've bet their games on, and he's had a great showing so far.
So you did just say it the same way once again. It was OMG that chose red side, putting BLG on the blue side.
No, it was BLG. BLG actually had game selection game 1.
Game 1?
Yeah, game 1 actually had game selection. So it was a correction from us.
There it is.
Yeah, so they actually chose blue side just to play the Xayah and Rakan, and they have a very good showing on it so far.
It certainly was. Finally, we're starting to see BLG lock down what they're trying to do with their team and their composition. Again, we saw Chieftain and Mole moving around hunting for those picks. The dog pile composition worked out for them. We've actually got the updated standings with BLG's victory. They lock in their playoff spot, and we can show you what that looks like in just a moment. Of course, OMG still eliminated. They are playing for Summer Split. They're playing for the chance to grow and learn as they come into the Summer Split.
Yeah, and with this elimination, we do have to call out that we will not be seeing from them at Rift Rivals. It's completely out of their realm. And for the Western Conference, we can see the big three out of the West, EDG, Snake, and BLG so far, shaping up their playoff roster. BLG will, of course, be hypothetically facing Suning.
Assuming that Jingdong does not magically sneak up and steal that final spot away from them. Of course, that's going to be our e-commerce wars happening later today at 7 p.m. ETA China Standard Time. Up next, though, we've got FPX versus Snake. That's going to be happening at 5 p.m. China Standard Time. So still, plenty more spots on the line. FPX, just because they've lost out on that third place, doesn't mean they're out of the running just yet.
Yeah, and they do have the recent win against WE, so they are still looking strong with Cool. If they can just clean up their play, we could see big things against Snake, who has had a rough time.
Yeah, it certainly could be. Of course, we will be taking a longer break to get ready for our next matchup. FPX versus Snake happens at 5 p.m. in, looks like, just 53 minutes. So don't go anywhere, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in just under an hour.